study history. Yeah, just study history, you can see. Yeah. Anything else? Yeah.
I think. Can I say
Yes, go ahead.
I think it's not about winning with Malay. I think we have no problem making friends with Malay, winning with Malay.
Yeah.
I think what Dr. I'm trying to say is that is the majority, the so-called the ruling party with the majority, the PN is formed by racial party. They are the ones who play the racial card.
Yeah.
What we trying to say that, you see, that's not what I'm trying to say is that, look, who is getting all the scholarship? It's not the poor. It's not the rich men. All the doctors' sons are getting the scholarship. It's not the poor is getting the scholarship.
I don't disagree with you. Okay, all these I agree with you. But let's do this way. You see, it works for UMNO, it works for MCA, it works for MIC to help make people pay attention to the race. So we have to work outside that. If we work with that, we're going to lose. Because why? Yeah, they are the incumbent, they are the one holding power. So the way we can fight them, we cannot fight them using the same way they're using. A good analogy is this. Yeah, all of us know who Bruce Lee is, right? Yeah, when you grow up, wanting to be like Bruce Lee. But anyway, Bruce Lee once was invited in Hong Kong for a live, what you call like a debate. And all the Sifu was irritated with Bruce Lee. Because he's young, he's brash, he's whatever it is. And they were a little bit of jealousy about Bruce Lee. So there were 4 of them sitting on the front. It was live telecast, right, in Hong Kong. And among the 3 are very senior Sifu Kung Fu masters. And they were all, speaking in, bahasa kiasan, typical way Chinese. But they're saying, some young fella thinks he's so smart. Basically, they're all telling he's, was actually insinuating him. And suddenly, one of the most senior among them stood up and stand like that and said, let me tell you, young people, what Kung Fu is all about. So he stood like this, and he told them, if you come and push me right now, you can never push me down. Okay? So what happened was, one of the one come and tried to push this Sifu, the most senior Sifu, and he cannot be pushed. And then the second guy come and push and cannot push also. That guy really stood still. And then came Bruce Lee's turn, he punched his head, and he fell down. And Bruce Lee looked at the camera and says, if you allow your enemy to tell you how to fight them, you'll never win. Understand? If you allow them to tell you how to fight, the next 50 years, you're going to have the same talk like this with the same problem. Yeah. So I'm suggesting, take the attention away from, the moment you say how come the rich Malay get that, you are still using the racial card. You are still using the racial card, you are still making people pay attention to race. And every time you say that, you add value to their organization, not Gerakan. Every time we make race an issue, Gerakan will lose a few more steps behind. Because Gerakan say you want to be a non-racial party, don't do it at all. Don't even mention it. We avoid it totally. We don't even talk about it. Yeah. Even if you look as though it's unfair.
I think a lot of people run into problem when people pay attention to wrong things that they are highlighting.
Yeah.
One of it will be Dr. Lim Teck Gee, whereby he's highlighting about delivery system of Malaysian government. What is the problem of our delivery system? And what the leaders pay attention to is the equity ownership.
Yes, sir. You're right. If you look carefully, there was like one line only,
Yes.
Equity ownership was like 1-2 lines and that's it.
I think
But-
it's a three
But they are smart enough to make the entire nation pay attention to the racial side. Why do they do that? Because that's their fuel. I mean, you can't blame them. They live, they survive based on racial support. If you're going to fight on that, you're going to lose. So don't. Avoid it. Every time they say racial, they say, yeah, and then you talk about something else. Get them to pay attention to something else. Get people to pay attention to other important things in life. You choose a topic. You can choose about children, you can choose about love, you can choose about anything. But get the attention away from race.
Can I add on to this?
Yes.
You see, because newspaper doesn't control my health. Okay. Now, you see, newspaper only cover things when it's hot.
Correct.
So if they start talking about NEP, equity, they say, oh, let's go environment. They find it boring. They won't cover.
No, make it exciting. Okay, but okay, this is how business people do things. If I got no control, I forget about it. I find things I can control. In other words, okay, can I control the newspaper tomorrow? Cannot, right? So I don't worry about it. I find other ways. Look carefully, okay? The opposition have done this, and you guys are a bit late at it. They got no control over the newspaper. They forget about it. They go into the blogs. We are late. You are late. Why? Because you're too worried about newspaper. Things that you can do, we're not doing.
No,
Go
we
into
have
the
quite
blog.
famous, quite a number of famous bloggers
Yeah.
from Gerakan.
And now he jumped into somewhere else. There's a problem.
The one still remain with us,
Yeah.
Dr. Su.
Yeah. Now what I'm saying is this, don't argue about things you don't have lah. Let's just go do things that we can do lah. There's not. I say like this. Sorry, Harry, is it? Henry. There's nothing stopping you from tomorrow. You go to, let's say, a makan store, and there's a bunch of Indians there. To chit chat with them and say, I'm from Gerakan. Tell me your problems, so I can bring it up to them. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. There's nothing at all. Go and do that. Yeah. And words of mouth. People will say, Gerakan fellas, they ask, words of mouth. Yeah. And words of mouth very good. You know why? Afterwards it gets exaggerated. Yes, brother.
Okay, I'm Hua from Dan. Let's have a look at current